today, and we're doing a bit of a secretive mission.
Yep.
We're doing a chain home radar site for all of you out there. Sophie, we're enjoying this.
Yes.
Bit sketchy. We're going to do our best. Take care. Enjoy your history lesson, because there will be one. We're going to try and do the best as possible. It's a little bit sketchy.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and rush this for a change. Please stay with us. Enjoy it. Let's do it. Come on.
Situated in southwest Cornwall is the coastal parish of Veryan, and along its high cliffs the landform of Jacka Point. Jacka Point is the site of a coastal defence and chain home low radar station. Built during the Second World War by the British Army, it was used to monitor shipping and aircraft over the Cornish coastline. Coastal defences and chain home low sites operated from 1941, and by 1946 Jacka Point had 16 to 20 structures on site. These included an operations block, a standby set house, and centimetric radar, which meant that this site became a chain home extra low station called Site K94. Ancillary buildings would have also been built at Jacka Point, but by 1975 only 5 of the site buildings remained. Now left as an abandoned relic of our wartime past, hopefully with a video like this, it will never be forgotten.
Hi everybody, welcome back. There's three main buildings, which is ancillary building at the far back. We're starting from the back, working up now. So we've sort of walked through, and now we're going to sort of guide you a little bit. First building, whilst we're here, is the ops block. That was right, wasn't it? I think standby set house block, I think was what that was called, wasn't it? At the far end. So we're going to take a look at those. We've sort of already walked through them. Other buildings we're not quite sure of, because chain home radar sites are sort of notoriously can be a little bit confusing, or especially for me. What I'd like to point out though, however, is the perfect correlation of where we are, right on the edge of the cliff near Veryan. Thank you very much. But obviously we know this is RAF Jacka Point, because it's literally on the point, on the edge. We just want to point out, this building is too overgrown. There's no way in hell we can get into it. Not sure what that is. There's another building over there. Not sure exactly what that is either. Can't get into it. That is so overgrown, isn't it, that one? But what we can tell you is the three main buildings are really the most important ones here. So just quick impressions, because we sort of walked down through it. It's hard to imagine at one point there was a radar here.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It makes sense in the location.
Gotcha, absolutely.
To pick out obviously any enemy threat, and obviously this was the first. Obviously, chain home, as you sort of know in your history lesson, was a chain link of radar stations, obviously to pinpoint when German bombers were going over. Obviously, our greatest weapon, radar, for our home island of England and Britain. Obviously, the idea was that obviously you get hit by the radar will transport, obviously direct then goes on a chain inward and outward, as you know, and then the RAF can pinpoint where the bombs were going, etc, etc. We're not too far away from Truro,
no,
which would be the main city town. But obviously we'll be surrounded by RAF bases, etc, etc. And actually not too far away, just down there, is a decoy site. Varian decoy site.
Yep.
We haven't got time for that. We've got to keep going. Come on. Well, everybody, we're in our first, like I said, there's only a few buildings really that we can explore. This is the ops, well, we think this is the operations block. We know that the operations block is here, the standby set house is also here, and we think that's the one behind. We do apologise if that's not correct, but we're going to briefly talk about really what it's about. You can see these incredible shutters that are still here. In fact, there's a spare one down there. And what look to be defensive slits, because you can imagine a shelf going on that, and if that was open, basically pillbox fortified in a strange way. And you can look around here, and it's, obviously you can see it's been used for horses and all manner of things. Obviously the farmer. Hopefully the light's coming out on this. It's unfortunate that we've got what we've got. But you can see these still assuming shutters. We can see that, well, you can see this door on a slider as well coming through. We walk through here, and then you're greeted again with the original door on these sliders, and then obviously compartmentalised into each bit. Getting beautiful views out there, but really, like we said before, this is a radar site, not really in that aspect. It's cool though, isn't it, Soph? Yeah, it is cool. We're having to be very careful because obviously we've got to, you know, we didn't break in. I have to always say that, didn't break in, but it is clearly a farmer has been using this. We've got to be really respectful of that. So like I said, we're only going to go into the buildings that we can easily access. So here we go. But it's seen better days, but the fact that this even exists, we've been to a few chain radar sites now. This is your first one, Soph. It's your first one. Happens to be all the way down in Cornwall for us Kent folk. Amazing. Little plinth there. Wow. And then we're going to go what we think is labelled as a standby set house right in front of us. You can see there's another building, but trust us, that is so overgrown. There's no way we can get into that. But you can see how well built this was. Massive concrete. Really impressive, isn't it? I mean, there we go. You can see that the farmers obviously repurposed this, used this again. So I think what we've got to do now is go to our standby set house. And oh yeah, we've got another building, I keep forgetting about that, which we're not sure about. And then behind us is some accommodation huts, we assume. So again, please forgive us on this. This isn't our start for 10 chain home sites. Even though we've done a few, it's still not something that we're very well versed in, but we know that, like I said, the layout is quite deceiving and changing, so forgive us on that. Hopefully you just appreciate the history of this, and more importantly, let's keep going. Okay. Here we go. So we think this is the standby set house. We could be wrong. As we walk in, there's vents, and that's about as much as I'm understanding of this. They look like, I mean, again, they just look like gun holes like you'd see in pillboxes, but these are grated, so again, I'm not going to commit to anything on this, but I mean, like I said, the history lesson will be enough for you to suffice the importance of this place. There's Sophie. All the photos, by the way, will be provided through by Sophie. Is there any, what have we got around there?
up show.
It is a rigged up show, I just realised that. Yeah, it's okay. Right. A couple more buildings to go now, Soph. Come along with us.
Let's go.
Okay everyone, this is the final concrete building and you can see it's basically plateauing over. So the importance of having that radar is so vital because you've almost got it terracing actually, haven't you? Like in little sections on each one. So, looks like that was a couple of like blocks here, if you can see those. I've just walked into. Not sure, we didn't bring a torch with us. Because to be honest, we weren't even sure how okay we were to do this. But as I said, we didn't break in. Hopefully, if you are the farmer, we've shown as much respect as possible. We are, like I said, a historical documentation channel. The only other buildings are some ancillary buildings, but I think what's interesting about this is that this isn't the size of the thing, is it? Looks like it's bigger, so should we take a look around the corner?
Yeah.
Come on. There is a door there, look. What? Is it? Looks to be an old generator. So much jabbing into my side. Yeah. There you go. Can't actually get. I can't, guys. I'm literally squeezed through, so I can't actually get through anymore. Exploring. Okay, so our final buildings are, I would assume they're the accommodation huts. Asbestos central, I would assume. But as you walk in, you can see. I'm almost certain these are accommodation huts. You've got the little chimneys, or look like chimneys. We've got one here, and then we've got a bee.
Really big bee.
And then we've got another one, which happens to be fitting in a caravan. Which is weird, but hey, farmers stuff. So yeah, these look like the accommodation blocks. I think everybody, apologise for rushing it, but we're just going to head out now. I think we're done. Come on. Well everybody, we can raise our voices a little bit more now. That was Jacka, the chain home radar site on the edge of Cornwall. Cornwall. That was actually quite a lot of fun, but also annoying because, yeah, wish we knew more in terms of what the building's uses were. And obviously when we talk about the history lesson, it never really sort of states, it states what's left, but then you have to denominate what is what. So that's it. Thoughts and feelings, Soph?
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, please forgive us on this one.
Yeah, the fact that there's so many buildings still standing is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
but that's it. Also, we know that some of you can work out what farmers' buildings are and stuff, and utilities and all that sort of stuff that he's been using. So hopefully we've got it fairly right. This is one of these times when I'm humble enough to say not 100% sure, but that's okay, because we've got to record it for all of you lot out there as a form of hopefully documentation. No more words of Phoenix history. Thank you so much for coming along with us. Check out Sophie's Instagram in the link below. That'd be fantastic. We will of course see you all very soon. You ready? Capel.